What it do, what does it do? Welcome to the Bears Den, your premier poetry podcast, the place where we pick the brains of some of the dopest performance poets in the game. I am your ever humble host, that most eloquent earth sign. Oh, beware, it is that boy Bear. And we're coming straight out the wood with something guaranteed to be good. So grab your pen and your pad and let's head into the lab here on the Bears Den.
Mother Eve is
Giants
no longer
often become territorial and pride those who run.
It's simply the launch pad, my spaceship.
1 for 4, 2 for 10, 3 for 20. 1 for 4, 2 for 10, 3 for 20. 1 for 4, 2 for 10, 3 for 20. This is not a random assortment of numbers. This is a travesty.
Wonder why my mind
was not my first time leaving a
tears
bride.
of my heart.
Hey, Courtney, those
No
are chosen
moment, I've had to capture this shit.
What does it do? Once again, it's your boy Bear, your favorite poet's favorite poet. And we're back with the Bears Den. Today, man, rocking with my partner, my boy, my LU alumni. I said, my man's 50 grand, Mr. Anthony Crawford Jr., a.k.a. PraVurb.
Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love.
Yes, sir, always. Keep up, man. Like, okay, so I asked my man, like, what don't you do? All right, first off, native of LA, California. Saying shout out to, saying the coast. As they say back at LU, West.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yes, sir. So, yeah, man, native, I'm saying, the West Coast. I'm saying, I'm going to say it's the best coast. I'm coming south side in this bad boy. But much respect. Graduated from Langston University. L's up with a degree in education. Using that bad boy is an English teacher at OKC's own Millwood High School. All right, so my kinfolk here is a public speaker, spoken word artist, author of the book Black Paint. Check that bad boy out. Get on, what I'm saying, Amazon and wherever it's available kind of thing. A poet, of course, co-host of OKC's own Dope Poetry Night, the Ice Event Center, screenwriter, film director, editor, executive director, and a ghostwriter. My guy,
Yes, sir.
what do you not do?
Oh, man, it's hard to think of anything right now, but I know I'm not good with money, so I'm learning money right now. I'm not really good at, I'm not really good at expressing my feelings in a certain way, so I gotta write it down. I gotta take some time out to process my feelings. So, I'm not good at calling parents and letting them know that they child is failing my class. That's always hard. I'm not good at. I gotta keep going.
No, man. I mean, I said, well, don't they like you? There's the humble sessions going on. Like, I feel like, what I'm saying.
That was a good question. That was a good question.
That was a good
questions,
answer,
brother.
man. That's real. Like, man, you got to move here self-evaluating. Like, bro, I'm looking at my life like, I probably should take a few moments to really examine. I have a hard time opening up, and I can be kind of distant sometimes, and but no, man, that's a beautiful thing, man. What I appreciate about you, PraVurb, I want to call you Pup so bad, man.
It's whatever, man. You can take it there. You know what I'm saying? You know me, so it's all good.
I'm saying the fam, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like, everybody can call him Peanut. That's a family name. You know? But what I appreciate about you, man, is that you always been a humble brother, a true seeker of knowledge, who really believes in sharing for the benefit of your people, for the culture, man. People in general, but especially, saying for our folk, man. Man, that's so genuine. Like, a lot of folk do it for the flash and dash, maybe for the cash, for the accolades and the shine or whatever. But you, out of a true, honest, genuine heart, are doing your best to help the folk, man. And there's so much respect for that, my G. So much respect for that.
Thank you.
So yeah, man. So all the things you list, man, you ain't good at, man. They ain't nothing but the things that keep us humble and human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because otherwise you'd be too great. Everybody can't be me. I'm just it's a struggle, my guy. It's hard being this awesome.
Especially when you got so many entities you can take your talent to and express it. So I can understand, brother. I can understand.
Hey, man, I'm trying to get in your level, kinfolk. I'm looking up your list of credentials like, I could add that to the list maybe, possibly someday. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, so you got 9, I got 6, but that's cool. I'm creeping on the come up. Creeping on the come up.
Hey, we be going to build a longer table or a taller fence, man. I'm trying to build the table.
Hey, you man, that's why they call you PraVurb. Cats, they own it. Man, like, shoot, man, I'm going to feel all kind of uplifted and motivating this bad boy afterwards, man. All right, so we're here, of course, on the Bears Den, your premier poetry podcast. So tell me, man, like in this thing that we do, man, what first brought you to the pen?
Man, once I learned how to write, you know, it was just natural. I started writing when I was 8 years old, watching my father, you know, take some time out to chill on the balcony, you know, for himself, then come back in the house, sit at the kitchen table and just write all night. I'm like, you know, I didn't understand what he was doing until I got older. And then it just hit me naturally at 8 years old. I remember me and my cousins, we would write, pretend to be rappers, and you know, growing up in the project. So I had something to say. I had a story to tell. I wanted to express myself because I didn't know how to really talk it out. So a lot of things brought me to the pen, man. A lot of things. Thinking back on it. That's a good question, man.
Word. So it's a way for you to, let's say, to express some things a different way.
Yeah. Because, you know, there's some things going on within all of us, you know, that we can't explain, you know, supernatural things. And, you know, since I was a kid, you know, things have always been different for me, you know. I wasn't considered to be a gangster. That wasn't what my spirit was. I saw people that was hurting. I saw them oppressed people. I looked at myself as oppressed. So even growing up and not, you know, subconsciously knowing it, but not really knowing the words to it, but you know what's going on, but you just like, hold on, it don't feel right. Like I shouldn't feel this fear going around a city where, you know, people that look like me want to rob or bang on you or something like that. So, you know, it was just a way for me to just like speak for those people, you know. So I think that's another reason why I came out to Oklahoma, because this is where I was able to kind of like train myself and build myself up. If I could do it out here in Oklahoma or Red State, it can happen anywhere.
That's real, bro. That is, man. Yeah. That's you know what, I'm listening, man, and I see now. Okay, if I had to characterize you as a poet, I've always seen you that cat that spits from the bottom of your soul, like whatever you saying, and it's okay. So there are some people that write. I'm gonna write my truth. I'm gonna tell my truth, and it is, but it doesn't necessarily sound or feel like that. It feels like, okay, it's a piece. I'm doing. I'm saying I'm reading this. I'm saying this. I'm performing this kind of thing. But you have almost singular ability that when you spit, it just feels like you're just talking. You're sharing, you know what I mean? And it's like there's no contrivance, there's no like I'm creating this, so there's no character facade, nothing like this is real you. Even now I would say not everything is biographical, you know what I mean? I know a lot of stuff you spit is. I mean, but I'm not gonna throw out like I'm saying like you done every bird you be with wrong. I'm gonna say that's just it was a cool point, you know what I'm saying? You know? Yeah. But I mean, I think truth in the art doesn't have to necessarily be everything I tell you is quote unquote true. If I'm lying to you, but it is. I mean, it is poetry. So it's for a purpose. But what I've always appreciated, Well, okay, what I already appreciate about you as a poet, a performance poet, but now I can see more why, how you deliver like that, how you spit like that. It's like just, man, like listening to you, man, when you do a piece, just like I feel like we're there. You know what I'm saying? We're with you on this journey in this space kind of thing. And it's engaging and inviting, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like you want to hear more, like, dang, I feel you.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah, man. And I know what your boy, shout out to Jay Wig, so also co-hosted Up Poetry. You know what I'm saying? Snapping is, outdated. But I don't want to clap for you, my G. Like, I don't. I feel like you deserve, you know what I'm saying, some mellow snaps, some candlelight, you know what I'm saying, some incense, because I feel like we in that vibe.
Yeah.
And that's a dope vibe to be in. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a healing session for us, man. So, it's my chance to heal because I don't get to share this often, with individuals because, I'm at the school all day. And, I believe that everyone should have a 9 to 5 and a 5 to 9, like, a job to kind of get you, just the benefits and, just have, some income coming in on a constant basis. And then your 5 to 9, that's your gift, the things that you want to do. I use my 5 to 9 to really like plug in and really tune into my gifts and and just find ways to heal people through the arts. So whenever I get on the mic, whenever I get in front of anybody, anything, I leave it all on the stage. I leave it all on that mic. I think about Westbrook, man. He getting triple doubles every night. He seemed like he beat Oscar Robinson's record, and I'm thinking like, man, he gives it his all every night. He almost leads the league in turnovers, but hey, some days you gonna turn over, so you gonna feel like, hey, I can't keep going, but hey, you gonna make mistakes, you gotta keep on going. So I just no matter what, every time I get in front of a camera, mic, I just leave it all out there, because I feel like it's a whole different type of spirit speaking through me at most times, especially when I write. So I just let that spirit take over.
That's what's up, bro. Submission to the art itself. I'm a big believer in that. Like, I believe in the purity and the power of the art, and I'm a purist and a particular kind of person about this. I'm like, and I've said this before, and folks gonna hear me repeating this, but I say it because I believe it's true. I'd rather be your favorite poet than your favorite person. I would like my work to speak for itself. I believe that what you do should be to the best of your ability in what you do. Now, unlike you, I am not a people person, and my altruism is very limited. So I know I know my lane, and I drive in that bad boy somewhere around the speed limit. But it's beautiful because you are that kind of person who is doing for the community, for people at large, and that speaks for you. It's not just, it's genuine. Everything you do is extremely, obviously, evidently genuine. And that's beautiful when that comes to one's art. You know what I mean? Because you can say, like, what PraVurb gives you is going to be real. And it's going to be real him. And that consistency, that purity, and, damn it, it's good. Like, you spit, my guy.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Thank you. That means a lot coming from you, brother, because you are one of the best poets in the building. Writing ability, the way you structure your poems. You like one thing I can respect about a poet's poem is how they can bring back their original topic, what they are talking about. You know what I'm saying? And that's we're losing that in today's art. So it takes poets like us to bring it back and remind people like this is what real poetry is.
Yes, sir.
It's a learning lesson. It's you creating a knife and wondering why you get stabbed by it. Like, poetry is, it's just an outlet. So, we just got to keep on pushing that literature.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Honing the craft, man. The craft. As I say, man, like you know, I separate the craft from everything else. You know what I mean? Like, let's say there's bear and there's not bear. I was gonna say my government name, but I'm gonna do that though. I'm saying do all that. But
can't get a slave name.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, because they be hawking.
Yeah.
But now, like, I mean, it's not, you know, the facade or a carry of. It's just, you know, I separate into what I do because I want to focus on that I'm doing and be good at that which I'm doing, because like I said, I love and appreciate and respect the craft, man. Like I said, if you don't like me, that's fine, but I for darn sure know you're gonna love what I spit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why we kindred spirits. That's why we BTC.
That's what brings together. That what brings us together, man. You know, so that's dope to hear you say that, because you know, a lot of people can't put who they are to the side, but when they step inside dope poetry, it's like it just happens naturally. You can't help but to flow into that love. You can't help but to flow into the energy that's going on in that room, and it just makes for a better show. You know, because that's, you know, the art connects us. You know, the art is in the middle of the word earth. You know, so
yes, sir.
Yeah, we just gotta just keep honing into that, like you say, the craft, because it's gonna craft us into better people.
As iron sharpens iron, man.
Yes, sir.
That's real, man. Like I said, one of the things I love, man, where I go, why I tend to do this stuff, why I want to do this, is just to feel that fire of dope poets, man. Like, to be inspired and motivated, energized, man, to hear something like, bro, like, I hear a piece and go, I need to start writing something. That's what thrills me when I hear somebody spit something like, yeah, man, that makes me want to write. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm gonna get this dude on set. I'm about to kill on this. What I'm saying, you know, competition, I believe, is good for us.
Friendly competition.
You know what I mean? You know? And real talk, I don't challenge nobody I don't respect.
Ooh.
Because why? I mean, because I don't want to say that, but it'll sound bad. I know what I can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We know what we do. You know what I mean? And then a lot of people, unfortunately, take that as, you know, of hubris or something. But it's an acknowledgement of when you recognize talent and you turn it into skill. When you see what you've been given, the God given the ability to do, and you do something with it, be good with it. But I'm always striving to be consistent and then better. You know, can I do this? Can I accomplish this? If I turn my pen in this direction, can I do this? Excuse me. And then having people that challenge me to do that. When I hear a piece and go like, okay, I need to like, let me see if I can touch that vein. Like, I listen to you, man. There's a couple of people I listen to, like, real talk, that I'm like, okay, can I write like that? You know? And I love that because it pushes me into a different style. You know, that's the thing about it. It's not like I'm like, I'm gonna write this. I'm gonna beat him at his own game. Like, nah, because if I can't beat you at what you do, because you good at what you do. You know what I mean?
And you know, it's crazy that you say that, because you know, ain't nothing new under the sun. So what we're really doing is writing about perspectives. You know, poetry is about perspective. You know, what is your perspective on this topic? What is your perspective on relationships, on love, on unity? What's your perspective on education, on society? You know, it's all about taking a certain topic and just giving your perspective on it. So, and that's one thing that I see about that dope poetry as well when it comes to poets. You know, we just are just writing from a different perspective, our experiences as well. When you start writing about your experiences, that's when you heal. So it's good to hear you say that, brother.
You know what I'm saying? To my perspective, man, shout out to you and Lana. Shout out to Lana for the situationships.
Yeah.
What's prompted mine. You know what I mean? I think that was, to me, I don't know if y'all intended to, you know, say inspire each other kind of thing, whatever. Because who did that as far as you heard?
I did my situation, you know, way. I forgot I didn't even did a situationship, but I did mine way before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then she caught that, was inspired by that, added her piece to it.
Yeah, because you know, I used to post poems on social media all the time, and I would be like, you know, can I get a female version of this, you know, or you know, I get somebody else to, you know, do a part 2 to this, or you know, I used to I used to, before I even got back on the stage, I was posting things like that. So,
Word.
yeah.
Man, like I said, it's crazy. That's dope. That was the intent. Like I said, it inspired me to do mine, which is one of my favorite pieces, personally.
It's crazy because I got Situationships Part 3 coming out on my next album that I'm producing. So,
Word.
Yeah, bro, it's gonna be cool.
I'm sorry, all I thought about was Mystical Still Smoking. I'm sorry. Like, it's the revamp, it's the new one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that every last one of the songs is like Fuego, so I mean that works.
Yeah.
But no, like I say, one, y'all inspired me and motivated me to try my pen, and then to like I said, perspective wise, you know, my take on it was different than y'all's take on it, and it would be interesting to see, you know, if other people join the chain. Yeah. You know, so you write your version, how we all look at this same thing, man. And that's the beauty of the art, man. I'm a super big jazz head, and jazz is built mostly on the standards. You know, you playing something today that somebody played 70 years ago, but it's how you play it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shoot, the cats in the game, all the cats were playing the same song at the same time. Like literally, like you had 8 different, you know what I'm saying? You had Miles, you had Train, you had Monk, you had all these cats, Mingus, you know what I'm saying? You got all these cats at the same time playing the same song, but it's the way they took that song. You know, and that's the beauty of the art, the craft, man. That's the beauty of art in itself. Period.
You can tell it so many different ways.
And it's all beautiful, man. So, talking about the art, talking about the pieces, talking about the beauty, you know what I mean? Now, I know this is a hard question to ask, because I know how we feel about this stuff, but what would you consider your favorite piece?
Oh, man. I was prepared for this question. Well, one of my favorite pieces is this piece I do about mental health. It's really untitled, but I know it's about mental health in the way society has really betrayed us in the sense where we really betraying ourselves. We just allowing society to influence that betrayal. But yeah, it's my mental health piece.
So go on, spit it for us then.
They wonder why my mind gone. The tears of my heart flow. But you know we gotta stay strong until we find our way home. They wonder why my mind gone. The tears of my heart flow. But you know we gotta stay strong until we find our way home. This is what I consider to be mental health. Only because society never taught me to truly understand and love myself, but instead, they replaced the nooses with guns. They flooded our communities with drugs, gave us trauma with drama, and had the audacity to still blame us for our conditions. When slavery just ended, well, not really. And instead of giving our people the proper help, they gave us this concept of health, or just threw us in prisons, treated us to mental institutions. But yet they wonder why our youngins are still shooting. During natural disasters, they abandon us and wonder why we loot. Yeah, we're sinning, but what y'all doing? And they wonder why my mind gone. They wonder why my mind gone. Even Obama called us thugs. So I gotta speak this for that little girl who needed her father's hug. That boy from the gutter who needed his mother's love. For that man who can't stand the church or the courthouse because he's tired of seeing the judge. Each year we die from diseases, homicides, and suicides because we reside in the country that hides the resources and cures to fix things. Y'all don't see that my people need uplifting? I guess it's just up to us to fix things. Thank you.
Bruh. Man, you know what? I don't know if this was a great idea, man, because like I'm feeling like I need to examine my life so much. Like I'm spitting poems about how dope I am, and you know what I'm saying, about the occasional smash. You hear like, you know what I'm saying, touching on the real.
What else do we need to touch on?
Hey, you know, that's man, we talk about how dope I am and about the real. So smash, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, everybody ain't able. But nah, man, that's bruh, that's heavy. That is heavy, man. You said the front of the church or the courthouse, man, being just, that's bruh. Bars.
Thank you, brother.
Bars.
Thank you.
Man. All right, so okay. I think we've had this conversation before. Okay, you say you write as a means and form of, as a type of therapy. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you like sit down with intent to write a specific poem?
Sometimes the best one of the best process for me is I'll think of a punchline, and I'll just like, all right, well, I think of 3 ways I could tell the story based off that one punchline, and I'll just write to that story. I just write to that perspective, and I'll kind of like free write first, and then I'll go in and fix it up, you know, because when I free write, it's kind of like I'm just getting it out. It's like a rough draft. Then I go back in and you know, fix it up. But yeah, that's kind of like my process when it comes to writing. Sometimes I'll just like freehand write something, and then, you know, it really don't have no, you know, storyline to it nor no punchline. It just, you know, just me just being creative, just getting out, you know, letting my spirit roam free. But yeah, that's most likely my writing process, man. I gotta have some type of structure to it. I gotta make it make sense, you know. That's why I don't understand how some of these rappers can just sit down and write about nothing. You know what I mean? No concept, no nothing, you know, no intentions, just like, yeah, this about to sound cool.
Word.
Nah, like, you know, we got these gadgets, we got these devices, everything is all digital, so let's give them something to listen to, you know?
Word. All right, so let me ask you this then. As a premier performance poet, do you write with intent to spit? Like, is that when you go in, like, writing with the intent to, like, perform a piece? Or do you write just to write it and then happen to perform it? Or do you, like, do both? Like, what's your angle?
I think I kind of differentiate, you know, the poems that I'm just like, this is just something to read to my performance poetry. I can tell if it's a performance poem when, you know, I can come up with those 2 to 3 verses that, you know, of different perspectives of that one punchline. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I can just take the punchline and be like, you know what, that's just going to be my couplet right there. I ain't even going to write nothing to it. Because I feel like I could put a book in one line, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
some of my poems are like that now. So I could really tell a whole story in 2 lines. So I just, you know, some punchlines I don't even revisit. I'm like, you know, that is enough. That's good enough right there, you know. So it just kind of depends on how I'm feeling.
Word.
But I just want to make sure if I'm gonna perform it, I got to make sure that it's saying something that people ain't trying to say or they're afraid to say. And then when I say it, they be like, damn, like, okay, he you know, he gave me a mirror to look at, you know, so I can go home, take that, and he put something on my mind or on my heart today, you know. So that's if it touched my heart and touched my mind, then I know it's gonna touch somebody else's, you know, because we all connected.
Word. As I say, man, I appreciate you so much, selfishly, because it takes me off the hook. Like, you're saying, you like people that, man, they didn't want to say that. I couldn't say that. Like, that's me raising hand.
Yeah. Who feels like this? Am I the only one? Okay, I'm not the only one solid.
I mean, I agree with you all day. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna spit it because, but it's different lanes, different veins, man. You know what I'm saying? The beauty is that, like I said, I super respect you for the willingness, desire, the ability to do it. You know what I mean? To say those things that other people won't and can't say. Like I said, I can't do a lot of soul-bearing stuff. But I know how important that is for people to hear, so they do feel that, you know what I'm saying, I'm not alone, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing, that somebody else, we all know we all dealing with the same stuff. but being willing to acknowledge and admit that, and that can help somebody else, along to that next step, So for y'all that can do that, man, I have nothing but respect. And again, my undying appreciation, because I'm not going to.
It'll come out one day.
Man, okay. The crazy thing is, I have pieces that I do tell some stuff in. I say something. Okay, this may or may not be a true story. It may or may not be. My thing is, man, like I just want to take you on a journey somewhere. I want to put you in a space. I want to put you in a certain place to feel a certain thing at a certain time. So, I
you do a good job at that too, bro.
I appreciate that, my guy. I kind of want to have folk, wonder, what all is real or not, what's true or not, kind of thing. But be good enough to like either way it's still solid. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think, and that's probably partially from my thespian background. I think the best acting jobs when people when you look at the actor and I wonder if you know what I'm saying, like
he did that too natural.
You know what I'm saying? There's people right now that we don't rock with because they said nigga in the movie. We're like, that dude's a racist.
Some actors we can't even get by because they was like women beaters in that thing.
Bruh.
Like, hold on, fam.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's safe, fam. You probably it was a movie. Perfect thing, man. Bernie Mac talking about, man, folk, like, damn, bro, I thought you died. Like, we mean, like, in Players Club, how you got that trunk? Like, bro, that was a movie. It was like, that was filmed. That's not real. But yeah, man, that's all right, so something you said there a moment ago. Like, you can write a whole book, in a couple lines. Which I think that's a heavy, dope thing. I think some people don't realize or appreciate that some don't have to be long to be profound or to be poignant. I think probably one of my favorite pieces ever that I did, and I will admit I am often self-impressed. I read stuff and go like, damn, that was tight. I expanded it because it was the first line of a poem, but it took me years to try to expand it out. But I think that the first line itself is good enough. And it's, I find myself in the middle of myself, looking for myself in the places I used to be. For me, that's like one of my favorite pieces.
That is profound, brother. That was a book in one line.
And that's...
some people spend their entire life looking for themselves when they could have just went inside, you know what I'm saying? And we all go back to what's familiar to us, so yeah, but that's heavy right there.
So what to you defines, or when you find, let's say, because we're discussing, it don't have to be 14 pages long, it could be 14 syllables long. How do you know, or would you say or qualify that a poem is good?
It just, for me, it's more, it's an intuitive feeling for me, because I'll read it to myself, I'll read it out loud, I'll be like, I gotta say it, I gotta memorize this one, I gotta put this one out there, so it kind of depends on where my spirit is with it, I feel like I'm bringing something to life whenever I write. So if it's something that came to life and be like, hey man, you need to share me before you just put me away or don't even revisit me again, because there's poems that I used to do that I wish I could go back and do it again, but that was just where I was at that point. Now I got to move on to where I'm at now,
Word.
So the intuition tells it all, man. You just got to be in tune with yourself.
I see now, man, listen, man, real talk. I can see that truly, truly, truly your poetry speaks through you. Like, you are a megaphone for the words. You know what I mean? It's passing through. I always say, years back, I came to the conclusion that it is a gift. You know, it's the time that God gave me this thing. That's why I say I read certain things I've written like, dang, that was dope. Like, I didn't write that. But it's like, look at it, it's like, bro, that's beyond me. It's better than me, you know, and I'm thankful for that gift. And so I try to just, when I write, if I'm fighting the words, if I'm feeling stressed about, uncomfortable about it, then it ain't gonna be no good. But I try to let the words come through me. I try to just write through. And with you, I can see that, man, like in everything that you are and do, you're a conduit, you know. And the beautiful thing is you allow yourself to be a conduit. Because like you said, when a poem tells you need to spit me, because that's something that somebody needs to hear that. You're being used to carry a message. And that is, I believe, the greatest thing we can accomplish if we allow ourselves to be used for the benefit of something, for the betterment of people.
And this is why you need to, you know, at some point, you know, start sharing your story, you know, through your poetry. Because, you know, we're all portals. We all got something to say. It's just, I've overcome the fear. Like, you know, I'm not afraid to be embarrassed. I'm not afraid to show myself naked. You know, I'm not afraid anymore. So I have no more fears. Whatever I got to do to get, not whatever I got to do, but whatever I got to do to get to that next level of my life where I'm fulfilled, where I'm happy, where, you know, I'm wealthy, I'm happy, and I know I said happy twice, but happiness is that's the heaven that God promised us, you know.
That's real.
That's where I'm truly after. So, you know, like, bro, we all got to do it. We all got to, you know, share what got us this far in our life. Because without what happened to our past, then we wouldn't probably be who we are now.
That's real. So let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this, because you mentioned a couple things. In our current society, you know, because of social media, constant diet that we have of these, quite frankly, illusions and delusions, that everybody is lying to everybody else and themselves, and we're defining these new levels of what you're supposed to have to be somebody or something. You know, everybody's chasing all this stuff. How would you define, as a poet, success? Like, what I mean, because you know, we sadly we don't get okay, good rappers are poets, and probably one of my top 5 is CeeLo Green. Shout outs to, you know, him, a good mob.
Of course.
I mean, bars. The ones that have millenniums of material and rivers of rhythm and entire ocean of emotion that's enlightening to swim in. I heard that, I was like, this cat is spitting. And it's like, you almost don't want to call it rap, you know what I'm saying? Those are like poetic bars.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing, he wrote that.
Yeah, and like tracking like his whole, like all his verses, his bars, and said from, like, you know, beginning from Soul Food down through his, you know, his solo stuff, man. Like, cat spits, you know what I'm saying, and he spits some stuff that is deeper than, you know, normal, but because, you know, he spits in a certain cadence and over, you know, the right tracks and beats and have the right, you know, crew, and that area, that genre, that field of the art, you know what I'm saying, he's got a level of shine that, quite frankly, sadly, most of us will never touch, because even though it is poetry, it's also music, it's rap, you know, it's a whole lot of that. So we might not get to the point of, you know what I'm saying, I'm pushing a Bentley off of these bars I spit, you know, in this bar, you know, breaking down my personal, you know, views of traumas and life, so on, so, you know, or I might not have a 15-room house, you know, because I has 17 different ways I can talk about a mouse, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing, you know what I mean? But not saying that we can't, so not saying that we shouldn't, but how most of society qualifies success and accomplishment, achievement. What do you think that looks like as a poet?
Well, I I believe as a poet, I would define success by how I made other poets successful. There are poets who will get on the stage and I'll be like, hey man, if you memorize that, man, it'll come out better. It'll come out differently. You'll say it more powerful. You'll be more confident. And then some poets take on that challenge and come back and don't say it without their phone, and next thing you know, it sparks something else. So if I could just push another poet to be successful and however success looks for them in their art, then I believe I did my job and I'm successful in that. Cause I look at what's going on in the city, like at these other poetry groups, at these other shows, the poetry was inspiration for all of them. So I'm doing my job. I'm doing what I need to do, regardless of what people feel and think about them. And think about me for that. So to me, at some point, if we can all just come on, not only on one accord, because not everybody's gonna be on one accord, but we can all just come into a high respect level of what poetry is doing for all of us, then that's my ultimate goal when it comes to poetry. Just hey man, like shit, bro. This is all healing us all. This is all helping us all. So why not just have a high level of respect for it all and just push each other to our full potential.
Community building in every community, man. I respect that, man. Like
I look at Fred Hampton, man. Fred Hampton walked into he walked into the Nazi place. He walked into the Mexican arena. He walked into everybody's arena. Like, hey man, like we all got the same common enemy. And there ain't no point of making each other the enemy. That's idiotic. So at some point we gotta just put our egos to the side and be like, hey, we got bigger fish to fry.
Word. And the arts have always been at the forefront of that, man. The vanguard.
That's how hip hop music got started, because of the oppression, because of the struggle. A lot of people struggling out here, man. So if we don't use our art for what it was intended for, then we doing our people a disservice.
Bro, I thought about that, and I wanted to say that, like, post a couple times, like, we poets are responsible for saying some stuff, for addressing some stuff. You know what I mean? I was saying earlier, one thing that I think makes Dave Chappelle so dope is that he is not afraid to make people extremely uncomfortable through his art. It's the Mary Poppins method. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. You know what I'm saying? The beauty of comedy is it's one of those last few areas where you can be extremely controversial, say some real off the wall, unpopular, un-PC, counterculture stuff, and people digest it because you did a laugh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if it's funny, then they'll rock with you. You know what I mean? I think one of the unsung heroes, though, and has always been, is also poetry. That we can say things that other folk feel that they can't, for whatever reason. But also, we can kind of get away with stuff because the art allows that. Because, I recognize an art form that has that history and that background. And I think there's a platform that we should be willing to use. One of the most beautiful things that I've seen was a couple weeks ago after the Chauvin trial verdict, to see 95% of the people that hit that stage were talking something about what was going on in the world, either the trial was in the world or just in general. And like I said, I was a little trepidatious because I know that sometimes it's easy to, when you deal with so much stuff on such a regular basis, that you close yourself off because you go insane otherwise. Like Baldwin said, to be black and conscious in America is to be in a constant state of rage. Bruh, like it's you have to sometimes, man, you gotta watch that movie, listen to something, laugh, go do something else, because it can be overwhelming, and truly like with flood watch, overwhelmed, you drown, they just be swamped with stuff. But to see folk recognize the seriousness of the situation and not ignore it, but to speak on it, and to really make that a central point for, because we hurting out here, man, and that there were some other folk in the room that was speaking on it too. The one young lady, little redhead, she got up and was unafraid to say her piece, and that's important. That, like you said with Hampton, man, everybody, we in the same boat, man. And you punching holes in your side or punching holes in my side, we all drowning.
Yeah, we all gonna drown.
You know what I mean? It's a sink in the same boat. So, I'm a firm believer in dialogue, and I think it will cure a lot of the ills we have if people sat down and talked to each other, like had just honest conversation with each other. And I think the beautiful thing is our art allows us to be in spaces and places to say some things that challenge, but challenge is a good thing. A challenge means you have something to aim for, to move toward, to move from a place now, to put in an effort to reach or accomplish something next and something new. And when it comes to the state of our cultural conundrums, we need to be challenged to progress and elevate.
That's only how true change, starts. It starts with the conversation, then it starts with the movement. You gotta practice what we preach. And that's what thing I be telling poets. Like, hey man, don't just be a dope, an awesome poet. Be about what you're talking about. Get in the community, get involved in the community, go find a kid to mentor, go help fund an organization or a program that goes on in your community. Because there's gentrification happening on the east side right now. Where are our people going to move to once they raise the property value? Where are people going to go? Are you going to be there to help? Are you going to be there to, are you going to stand by and just talk about it? We got enough talkers, man.
Yeah, man. The responsibility of the platform. We look at some of our greats, man. Maya, Langston, Nikki. People who were even outside of Portion, man. You got Paul Robeson. I'm blanking now. I see his face. I almost said the Deo, man. That's a tragedy. I'm going to edit this later.
Paul Dunbar.
Man, so many people who their art was part of their activism. That they spoke on stuff that had to be heard.
That makes sense because, if I come to talking to a person regularly about these things, then he might not hear me. But if I add some rhythm to it, if I make it a rhyme, then we having a whole different conversation now. Now I got your attention. And then that just made me think about, the prophets, like Jesus Christ, how when he spoke, when we talking about what's in the red in the Bible, when he spoke, it was prophetic, and people gravitate towards that. You really just, you kind of play with energy whenever you speak prophetic, and you spin out metaphors and similes. So that makes sense why they was using their art, as political campaigns, why they was using their art as a way to reach the people. So, man, that's kind of just sparked something in my brain. My bad, brother. My bad.
Oh, you good, baby. This is what, man. This is what's about.
Yeah.
Side note: Harry Belafonte, who I was thinking of.
Harry Belafonte.
Sidney Poitier, and something that people often not realize. Dr. Bill Cosby was deep in the game as far as activism, but didn't do it in the same way other folk were doing it. And that's the thing, man, where and how you use your platform and what you do with it. And then too, not all like sometimes we think we got to stand on the platform and shout what we're doing. Sometimes the platform gets you into the room and space where you can do things that other folk don't have access or can't do, and you can start changing narratives from there. I mean, both of us went to Langston, the westernmost, by the way, a fun fact, westernmost HBCU in the country, the only one in Oklahoma. But every HBCU in the country saw an explosion of enrollment after Different World came out, which followed on the heels of the Cosby Show, where you saw educated, intelligent, nuclear black families putting out people who aspired, had ambition and goals that aimed for higher. What that has done for us at this point, because when that came out in the 80s, you realize the people that went to college then are now running businesses and in upper level positions and doing things, which has benefited the folk as a whole, benefited the culture, man. So his original platform was comedy and then movies like that, but then he said, when I get put, I'm gonna use the fame and the I have here to create a show where I'm gonna show black people like they haven't been shown before. You have never, before the time, we never saw a black film like that on TV, and honestly we barely have since. It's not a whole lot, so that kind of stuff, man.
It's legendary. It's critical that we have representation like that, because people aren't reading anymore. So, we don't put some on TV, then, everything go down. The attention span, the reading rates, everything. So we got to put something on these television shows, and as a movie director, as a screenwriter, that's one thing I make sure I do. And anything that I write, you're going to learn, you're going to laugh, you're going to look at something ignorant, you're going to look at something sexual, but you're going to be like, damn, that movie did say this, it did have this going on, it did pose a question, it did have you thinking the whole time, like, damn, like this was going on, so how come we're not doing nothing about it, So it's good that Bill Cosby was able to, at a time where it wasn't happening anywhere, because even his show alone sparked a lot of other family shows that came out after that,
Yeah.
So, the culture owes a lot of things to Bill Cosby.
Man, talking about movie stuff, man. Shout out to like possibly my idol, Spike Lee, man.
Oh yeah. The GOAT.
Bruh. Like, shout out to black filmmakers, man.
Ron Coogler,
Man.
Aaron McGruder.
Bruh. The Boondocks, like I actually got the books, man.
Yeah,
bruh,
the comics.
Like, bruh,
back
like
when it was on the news.
Yes, sir. I still actually got some of the actual newspapers that the comic strip is in. Shout out to black creators, man. Let me clarify this. Okay, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. So, but I'm embarrassed what I do.
Beware.
It's that boy. Okay. Just because somebody's doing something having to be black does not necessarily mean that that is a champion of the culture. Because there's a responsibility. Like, what are you giving to the culture? One thing I love about, like I said, like the Spikes and Aaron McGruder, it's unapologetically black. Now, it's dope that we have people in these areas that can do things that have, they're more people behind the camera, as producers, as directors, as, screenwriters, what I'm saying, that are actually getting room, not just dancing, shuffling in front of the camera, but it's dope that we're getting more of us in these areas and spaces to give room for more of us to come behind. So we open them doors and now we like running through them bad boys. But shout out to folk who are unapologetic about showing a realistic black experience, about telling you what you need to hear, not just necessarily what you want to hear, about giving something a challenge you got to chew on. To me, that's one of the things that I love about what I consider good poetry. it's something I gotta chew on. You know, give me something I gotta masticate on for a bit. You know what I mean? That it hits me somewhere. I'm rerunning those bars in my head. I'm like, that was nice. The way you put together, that was nice. What you said there, that was nice. That, man, like that made that you talking about something, you know. So shout out to the folk, whatever your field and area is, that you are not, you ain't wearing, you know, your light skinned mask for the masses, whether them or us. You know, one thing I think is so, and this is a sideline, I'm digressing for a moment here, but one of the things I just love about Spike's movies is Spike stuff, like I say, it's unapologetically black, but it's not prototypical black and definitely not stereotypically black. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm making a movie that only got the homeboys or only is relevant to, you know what I'm saying? It's black because it sounds black, it feels black, it moves black. Even Do the Right Thing. You can make Do the Right Thing in any community with anybody, and the same struggle it would make sense as a movie. It would.
School Days.
Like, you can make any of these things with anybody, and it's a good freaking story. But it's the rhythm of the story is told, not just and how the things that we understand that resonate with us culturally, and then it's showing black folk without having to be, you know, the super good, you know, the credit to the race version, or we not all, you know what I'm saying, the hood niggas that I gotta prove I'm real, so I'm out the hood. And it's not the colorless black person, which is just some, you know, entity that just happens to be, you know, black. They fit a mold. They're so generic. There's like no identifier to them. These are people just being people who happen to be black, and they act and they feel like, and they're real as, and they deal with issues that are on us. I think it's like, yes, they deal with, like, any culture could tell a story that deals with its issues as well. You should, because it relates to what you're doing, what you got going on. It's like all these mafia movies. I mean, that talks to Italians, you know, you understand that. Cool. For us, we got movies that talk to us that deal with issues that we deal with, but not because I'm trying to make a statement about, or I'm trying to, you know, I got to go out here and wave my flag in your face and my sign in your face and march with bar. I'm just telling you what's real. Like hip hop, the real stuff. I'm not out here trying to prove how hard and gangster I am and how many packs I slam, because that proves my blackness. If that's what it was, that's just what it was. So I say that in reference to, like I said, the poems that you spit, especially relationship stuff. You're not trying to pimp your poetry or off your poetry. You know, you're not playing the sympathy vote or pity vote. You know, you're telling what's real, and actually unapologetically so, unafraid, unashamed, and that does so much. As a black man, as a black creator, in everything you do, you tell your stories unapologetically, unabashedly, and often like the unedited version, like, this is real. I'm not gonna sugarcoat or build something so make me look better so you feel better about me.
Ain't no elephants in my room.
Hey, and it's still fire. Now, so you are not just a poet, like you mentioned, screenwriter, but you are also a novelist. And we got to get together on your next book. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out here now. So I'm throwing it out on the record, on, you know, so the recording, so I can point back to this and people are like, hey man, you know, other people are like, say you ever get with Barry about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know what I mean? Now I have a public record. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man. So you touch, like I said, a lot of different areas and genres and activities to spread your message, man. Which do you like more?
Oh man, script writing, man, screenwriting, doing movies, doing television shows, cause it's just a chance for me to paint a picture that people are just not trying to see. You know, well, I'm not saying people in general, but most people are not trying to see. You know, so if I could take a societal issue and, you know, paint it for you, you know, if you're not going to read it, then here goes a movie for you. Here goes a television show. Watch it, and we can talk later. You know, because hopefully everything leads you to reading. You know. But if I had to choose my favorite category, man, it had to be screenwriting and doing movies, man. It's a lot of work. Sometimes it can get not sometimes. A lot of times it can get stressful, but it's fun at the end of the day, and you can see the result of your work when you can sit down and, you know, look at your edits. You know, see other people kind of like tune in with you and believe in your vision, and get everybody on the same accord and. You know, and then do something special whenever y'all, you know, complete the project. You know, so screenwriting and doing movies is my favorite.
Word.
Like, I love poetry to death, but, you know, if it was a way where I could, you know, do screenplays and write all day, you know, and then create movies and television shows, and I'll just do that.
Man, you know, it's crazy to say that because, like, I legit feel the same. I got a couple plays under my belt, a couple screenplays I worked on. I really wanted to get into film. I'm still.
It's not too late, man. It's not too late for nothing that you want to do in life. Because what I got planned for the city, man. Because you know, I'm gonna have my own studios. You know, they got Tyler Perry Studios, MGM Studios, Universal Studios. Like, I want to have a central location where individuals who write screenplays or want to act, or people who want to produce and, you know, get involved in directing or, you know, cinematography. If you want to get involved in that, then you have a safe location and you have a network full of individuals who are down for the cause. So, you know, you ain't got to do that. At some point, we ain't got to do everything on our own because it's hard that way, you know. So I'm going to have me a team of individuals who are down to really do some things. So, you know, you keep writing. And when things hit the fan, you can put this on record. When shit hit the fan, I'm bringing you in, brother.
Bruh, I am beyond honored. Beyond, bro. Like, real talk. Down like 4 flats on the Cadillac, my guy.
For sure.
Man, bruh, your vision is beautiful, man. Like, that fit. Your vision is beautiful. What I see is beautiful.
I just know that I can't do this by myself. So if I can bring some people in who love the art, love literature, who love, you know, production, because I'm a big time production person. You know, that's what I was doing in college. You know, I was behind the stage, you know, getting the lights together, getting the stage set, getting, you know, setting up and breaking down. Like these are the things that, you know, the city needs, and, you know, especially our people, because you go to a different entity, you go to a different studio, go to somebody else, they'll probably just have you doing lights. Whether if you'll come to me, then you can act, you can produce, you know, edit, whatever it is that you feel like your expertise is, and you can do that.
Right. Man, you steady giving opportunities, man, and that is beyond admirable, bro. Beyond, like I said, you are a community builder every which way, you know, and I am grateful. I am thankful to you and grateful that you have refused to sit on your talents and skills and abilities and your vision and dreams and ideas, your ambitions, that you don't want to just keep it for yourself, that you want to do something with it, and not just with it, but with folk who are doing it, to provide opportunities for other folk who can grow from that, man. Like, that is so admirable, bro. Man, like, I feel challenged. I feel really challenged. Especially because I'm an asocial introvert. So My
Man, you're part of one of the, best music fraternities that ever was created, brother. So you ain't that introverted.
yeah, but I don't talk to them dudes most.
He said that on record.
Hey, they know, man. I got 10 LBs, and I just found out that some of them most made the state no more. I was like, word, really? It's terrible. I know. Shame on me. Shout out to Stop You Out.
It's not terrible, man. It's not terrible. It's there's LBs that I don't even communicate with, not because we got a vendetta against each other. It's just life takes us different places, man.
But the beauty is the bond that we have as brothers exists no matter what, no matter when, no matter where. That my brothers are my brothers. Shout out to 11 RSO.
I pray we live in a society where all fraternity members, regardless of what color and symbols, we can all look at each other as brothers and sisters.
That's what I was getting to, man. Like, and that's what I see you exemplify. That for the people, for the culture, and I believe not just black folk, for people, but for people moving forward to make this place better. Period. I believe if you make, again, if we all in a boat with holes in it, if the hole's on your side or my side, patch the hole. Because if the boat floats, we all float. That's unfortunate. I'm probably realizing right now that folk out here are self-sabotaging because they punching holes in the boat thinking, oh, you're going to get wet on your side first. But we all sinking. But I appreciate that you have that vision of brotherhood. Now, again, for the culture, real talk. Like, I feel no shame in saying we love us. You know what I mean? Not to the exclusion of any, but, you know what I'm saying? Somebody said, what they say, I'm not saying I'm better than nobody. Yeah, I'm not saying nobody better than me.
We just the original, man. We the original.
You know what I mean? It's so, but yeah, man, no matter what, no matter where, no matter when, you know what I'm saying, we found. And
even to the Bloods and Crips, blood plus cuz equal family, so we all need to come together. Man,
you know what I mean? That's man. Man, you give me a lot to chew on, man.
Brother,
a lot to.
You from South Dallas, brother. You know what it is.
Yes, sir.
You speak for them.
Yes, sir. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, man. Like I said, no matter where we is, for the fam moving, man. You know what I mean? That's what we got to remind ourselves. Keep in mind, remember, and that we, in what we do, in our artistic endeavors. Everybody got a game, everybody got a lane, you know what I mean? I support anybody that's doing something positive and progressive. You ain't gotta be doing what I'm doing for me to rock with you. I don't believe in, having debates and arguments and schisms and friction because we're not doing the same thing. If your thing, I'm a super big proponent of entrepreneurship. Black business, that's my thing. I know you super big on education. I rocks with that. Now, just because education ain't like, I definitely see the importance of, most definitely, but that's not my area in which I, do with my talents and my efforts, lie kind of thing. I'm not gonna say, what I'm saying, bro, we need to focus on this first. It's all about the dollar first, but we can worry about that later. Nah, man, if you moving the people, you for the culture, bro, much love and respect. So whether you spit bars over beats, whether you are moving your paintbrush, that's visually catching people's psyches and souls and telling those stories, whether you are in front of or behind the camera and you are telling those stories, or whether you're on stage spitting dope rhymes that touch minds, or whatever the case may be, man, if it's moving us forward, praise God for you, man. Man.
Covered a lot, brother. We covered a lot.
Man, like I said, and this is I don't know about y'all listening, man, but shoot, this has done something for me. I say whenever I preach, man, I'm preaching to myself first.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
You know, this is a lesson that I'm glad that God gave me that y'all be a part of. But this is a lesson I heard myself first. You know, and this opportunity here we got chopped, man. You give me a lot to
digest.
Yeah, man, to think about, to examine, to explore. You know, and I might just have to, write something and
it's time.
Show the softer side of Bear.
Yeah, it's time. It's people in there that you hold keys to unlocking their prison to, so until you share those keys, some of us may forever be in that prison. So, we set us free.
Man. Ooh, that's a lot of responsibility, man.
Heavy is the head that wears the what?
Crown.
Talk to him, Bear. Stop playing with the people, man.
That's real, my guy. That is real. Hey, I say I'm a king because I live it, not because you give it. You know what I'm saying? That's so you got to run with it, man, and make it mean something, stand for something, man. All right, so before we go, for those who desire to do what you do, now I need about 8 more hands to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Everything everybody's posting. You know what I'm saying? But do what you can, I'm saying. But as far as the poetry side of things, you know what I'm saying? What advice would you give to those aspiring artists out there?
First and foremost, love yourself. I'm going to give you 3 things. First and foremost, love yourself. Find different ways to love yourself, understand yourself. All this is, it has to do with, number 1, loving yourself. Find peace with yourself, accept yourself, find your niche. Like I said, all this has to do with loving yourself. I'm still on number 1. So once you begin loving yourself, it'll be easy to tell to the things that you that don't love you. You can easily tell the things that disservice you. It's easy for you to figure out what's harming you. So number 1, love yourself. Number 2, read. This is cliche, but it is so true. They say if you want to hide anything from a black man, put it in the book. So it's imperative, it's critical, it's crucial that you read. And think about this, in a sense, everything that you read, you develop a new skill through everything that you read. So what skills do you want to have? Go ahead and read, And number 3, whatever it is that your gift is, do it constantly. Show your gift love every day. Allow it to roam free. Allow it to take over your body. Allow it to make you dance. Allow it to make you smile. Allow it to make you cry. Allow it to make you move around. Your gift is what's going to make room for you on earth. So why not allow that gift to sprout? Why not, find different ways to make that gift come alive? So 1 is to love yourself. 2, read, and number 3, allow your gift to sprout. Other than that, man, love and peace to all.
Man. Nuggets, man. Not even nuggets, like ingots, bars, chunks, boulders of pure gold, man. Well, family,
thank you for allowing me on your show too, brother. It was an honor and a privilege to be a part of your vision, man. That means a lot to me as well.
Bro, I am beyond honored to have you here. Like, real talk, bro. You've always been one of my favorite poets. Like, real talk. Shout out to the BTC, baby, Black Thought Collective. But I mean, bro, always. And now, getting a chance to chop it with you in this venue,
Dope venue.
favorite poet, favorite people, man. Like, real talk. I so respect and what you do, man, what you got going, man. So appreciate it. Like I said, I'm truly honored to have you here. Shoot, man, I'm gonna share this with the peoples, you know what I mean, to put out there. But I'm glad I can share with myself, man. You know, I got the first copy. You know, I get to sit here and listen to this and play it back, man.
Can't wait to listen to it.
Before we go, let the people know how can they get a piece of what you got going, where they can follow you, see you, what you got, kind of thing.
You can follow me on Twitter at The Hood Teacher. Once again, that's at The Hood Teacher. You can follow me on Instagram at Anthony_Crawford Jr. That's at Anthony_Crawford Jr. You can find me on Facebook. Just type in Anthony Crawford Jr. Once again, that's Anthony Crawford Jr. You can find me on Amazon. Type in my name. Type in Black Paint. Multiple ways. You find me on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn as well. Just type in my name. It should pop up. I'm everywhere, man. I'm trying to be everywhere.
Word. Should I say, was it Visa or MasterCard? Everywhere you want to be.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I like that.
I rocks with it, my guy. Man, again, so much appreciation, bro.
Gratitude, bro.
So much, man. And hopefully we can come back and do it again, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? We got shoot, man. We got a lot more. We can go.
Especially when you if you keep this up by next year, you're gonna have a whole TV set in here just for artists. So I'm all in, brother.
Yes, sir. As always, I'm your metronomical misfit, that boy Bear, and I leave you with these words. Poetry does not seek to imitate life. Rather, life aspires to become poetry. One love, two fingers. Deuces.
Your mama,